Hello everyone. Today in this video we are going to cover the topic Annual Journal Meeting under Companies Act 2013 from the subject Auditing and Secretarial Practice. First of all, what is Annual Journal Meeting? An annual journal meeting is a mandatory yearly gathering of a company's interested shareholders. At an AGM, the directors of the company present an annual report containing information for shareholders about the company's performance and strategy. Shareholders with voting rights vote on current issues such as appointment to the company's board of directors, executive compensation, dividend payments, and selection of auditors. So, annual journal meeting is every company except one person company, whether public or private, having a share capital or not, limited or unlimited, must hold annual journal meeting in addition to any other meeting. And the topics discussed in this meeting are such as appointment to the company's board of directors, the payment of dividends, selection of auditors for the period, and the selection of board of directors, the compensation to be given to the board of directors and auditors, and so on. The next is purpose of the meeting. Annual journal meetings are held to conduct the business on behalf of the company. By this, we mean that it is only at the annual journal meeting of a company that the shareholders can exercise their control over the affairs of the company. Hence, it is desirable that they should meet at least once every year to review the working of the company. Next, to take important decisions regarding the company, such as dividend proposed by the directors is declared in the AGM, to inform the shareholders about the previous and future activities of the company. The board of directors place accounts for consideration, approval, and adoption by shareholders in the AGM. Next, to give the overall status of the organization by the chairman of the company. To fulfill the statutory requirement of the company by conducting a meeting annually. By this, we mean the auditors of the companies are also replaced or reappointed by the shareholders in the AGM to approve the audited accounts of the company. The shareholders can exercise their control over the overall working of the management by re electing or refusing to elect the directors. The next is objects of the meeting. Firstly, we have objectives pertaining to ordinary business. To present the audited accounts in front of the company's members and its equity holders and get the same approved by them. Next, to elect the new board of directors by the means of voting system. Third, to appoint the auditors for the upcoming calendar year. And lastly, to declare and affirm the dividends as provided by the company's board of directors. In this, we have, in case of annual journal meeting, the following business is deemed as ordinary business, which includes the consideration of the accounts, balance sheets, and the report of the board of directors and auditors, the declaration of dividend, the appointment of directors in the places of those who are retiring, and the appointment of and fixing of the remuneration of the auditors. Ordinary business is generally transacted by passing an ordinary resolution. All these things are declared and discussed in AGM in case of ordinary business. Next, we have objectives pertaining to special business. By special business, we mean all other matters other than ordinary business are treated as special business at an annual journal meeting. For annual journal meeting to be transacted at a meeting, it should have an explanatory statement attached to the notice of the meeting, and it should include all the material facts concerning each item of such special business. It should also include that if any director or any other key managerial personnel has any interest in the nature of such items. It should also include the time and the place where the documents of the special business can be approved and inspected by members of the company. It should also include that if any board of directors, if they wish to alter the company's articles of association, they can have the approval of the members of the company. They can also address any conflicts grievances or issues raised by the members of the company or investors of the company. And lastly, the main aim of the special business is to safeguard the interest of the investors or members of the company and make sure they are not violated by any of the members of the company or any of the board of directors of the company. Now, what are the legal provisions for holding an AGM? Every company is required to hold this meeting, but there are certain legal provisions which have to be followed relating to annual journal meeting as contained in the sections 96 and 97. They are: first annual journal meeting. A company may hold its first annual journal meeting within a period of 9 months from the date of incorporation. However, this should not be more than 9 months from the close of financial years. First annual journal meeting is to be held within a period of 9 months when the company receives its certificate of incorporation. It means that when a company has received its certificate of incorporation, the first annual journal meeting is to be held covering the period of 9 months, that it should be held within a period of 9 months, and even the registrar of the companies cannot grant extension for holding first annual journal meeting. The next provision after first annual journal meeting is subsequent AGM. There must be one meeting held in each year, that is, calendar year. In other words, one separate and distinct meeting every year. Where a meeting is called and held on a day in one year is adjourned to a date in the next year and held on that particular date in the next year does not become the meeting of that year. The gap between two AGMs must not be more than 15 months. AGM must be held not later than 6 months from the closure of financial year, that is, from the date of profit and loss account and balance sheet, whichever is earlier. These three requirements are cumulative as well as separate, which means that failure to comply with any of them shall constitute an offence. Next is extension of time. The registrar, for any purpose, may extend the time of holding the annual journal meeting by a period not exceeding 3 months. Where the time for holding the annual journal meeting is extended for 3 months, the interval between two successive annual journal meetings shall not exceed 18 months. An application for extension is normally made before the expiry of the period prescribed in section 96, subsection 1. Next is proper authority to convene annual journal meeting. The board of directors is the proper authority to convene annual journal meeting, and if the managing director, manager, secretary or any other officer calls the meeting without such authority, it will not be effective unless the board ratifies the act before the meeting is held. The next provision is time, date, and place of holding the annual journal meeting under section 96, subsection 2. Every annual journal meeting shall be called during the business hours. Business hours means 9 am and 6 pm. Next we have is day. AGM shall be called on a day which is not a public holiday. Public holiday includes Sundays and any other day declared by the central government to be a public holiday. 30th June and 31st December are not public holidays under Section 96. But where the central government declares a day to be a public holiday after the company has issued notices, it shall not be deemed to be a public holiday in relation to that meeting. Next we have is place. The AGM must be held at the registered office of the company. The directors may hold meeting at any other place within the town, city or village in which the registered office is situated. The city, which includes the postal limit or local body limit, whichever is wider. The term postal limits may constitute to mean the city postal delivery area officially accepted by the postal authorities. Next we have the notice of the meeting. A public company must at least have 21 days clear notice for convening the annual journal meeting. The period of 21 days is calculated from the date of receipt of the notice by the members, and it excludes the day of service of the notice, the day on which the meeting is to be held. Notice is deemed to have been received by the members at the expiration of 48 hours after the letter containing it is posted. In a nutshell, it includes a notice must be sent 25 days before the meeting to be effective. Annual general meeting must be held with a shorter notice if it is agreed by not less than 95% of the members entitled to vote in the meeting. The consent for the shorter notice may be obtained either before or after the meeting, either in writing or through electronic mode. The notice shall state the meeting to be an annual general meeting specifically. Now, the notice should be given to whom? Every member of the company, legal representative of the deceased, auditors of the company, every director of the company, receiver or official assignee of an insolvent member. The next provision is quorum. By quorum, we mean the number of people which are required to attend the meeting to make it a valid meeting. For public companies, we have 5 members present as if on the date of the meeting being held, the number of members in the company does not exceed 1000. For every 1000 members, at least 5 members must be present for the meeting to be held as a valid meeting. 15 members present as if on the date of the meeting there are more than 1000 members but less than 5000 members. For 15 members to be present at the meeting, the number of members should be more than 1000 but less than 5000 members. 30 members must be present as if on the date of the meeting if there are members more than 5000. For private companies, in case of a private company, regardless of the number of the members, 2 members must be present for the quorum to be met for the meeting. For every private company, at least 2 members must be present for the quorum, irrespective of the number of members of the company. The next provision is default in holding the AGM. If any company fails to comply with the provisions and holding the AGM, the consequences are as follows. The company, as well as every officer, will be liable if they fail to hold the annual general meeting and shall be punishable with the fine up to Rs 50,000, and the default continues with a further fine of Rs 2500 for every day of default during which the default continues, as the annual general meeting provides the management and the members of the company an opportunity to express their views on the management of the company. Any member can apply to the central government for the failure of the company to call the meeting. The central government may give direction to the company for calling off the meeting to the management of the company. By this we come to the end of the video. I hope you all liked the video. Thank you.